Hello there and welcome to another edition of WADR's Gender Program 50/50, broadcasting from West Africa Democracy Radio 94.9 FM in Dakar, Senegal, and also live on our partner stations in Liberia, the Gambia and Sierra Leone. If you're listening to us anywhere around the world via WADR.org, thank you for connecting with us. My name is Nadidi Teti and I'm the host of the program. 50/50 is a platform dedicated to discussing gender equality and equity, promoting equal opportunities for all genders, fostering an inclusive and women-friendly environment, and examining social issues from diverse perspectives to address the unique impacts on individuals of different genders. On today's show, we are diving into a topic that has been sparking conversations across generations: the evolving perception of marriage among young people. As societal norms shift and the priorities of young adults change, marriage is being viewed in ways that differ significantly from previous generations. To explore this, we'll hear from a seasoned counseling psychologist, personality coach, and pastor, Samuel Dako-Kran, who has been working closely with young couples, and will also bring the voices of young people themselves to understand what's influencing their thoughts on marriage today.
The answer is yes. In these times, we see some form of change in the attitude of the youth when it comes to marriage.
I think marriage itself is a generational thing. Our generation does not uphold the values of the previous ones. Okay. They think marriage is the ultimate goal. We personally just want to be financially stable, be able to afford the life we want, have peace of mind, and not compromise on things that our parents compromised on.
We welcome your contributions via our WhatsApp number +221 78184541. Once again, +221 78184541. You can also share your thoughts on our social media platforms. On X and Instagram, it's at WADR News. On Facebook, find us at West Africa Democracy Radio English Service. Please remember to start your message with the hashtag 50/50. And if you are not already following us, make sure to do so to stay updated on all our discussions and episodes. We also stream live online at WADR.org. To recap, our handles are at WADR News on X and Instagram and West Africa Democracy Radio English Service on Facebook. Welcome once again to 50/50 with me, Nadidi Teti. Marriage has long been seen as a milestone, a rite of passage that signals stability and commitment. But in recent years, we've seen a shift in how young people approach this institution. Many are delaying marriage, some are choosing to forgo it altogether, and others are redefining what it means to be in a committed relationship. I spoke to a seasoned counseling psychologist, personality coach, and pastor, Samuel Dako-Kran, a professional with years of experience in guiding young couples through the complexities of relationships. According to Samuel Dako-Kran, the shift in perception is largely due to the increasing focus on personal growth, career development, and also high divorce rates, influence of social media, among others.
The answer is yes. In these times, we see some form of change in the attitude of the youth when it comes to marriage.
And what are some of the factors that you are gleaning as to what is leading to this shift? And what is this shift mainly about, really?
Well, I will say that it's so many factors, mostly changing priorities. The whole traditional view of marriage as a necessity or a necessary life milestone is shifting. It's shifting. For many young people, marriage is no longer seen as the ultimate goal or a defining aspect of adulthood. You see, instead, there is a growing emphasis on individual fulfillments, personal goals, and experiences. So marriage is no more on the top of the priority list. It's quite down there, or even maybe not part. I think that's the main or one of the factors.
And what could be influencing this?
I think they see life or take life more easier. The way the whole world is changing and is transformed, they take it more easier, and unlike the olden days where you are not left with any choice. You have to marry. Everybody is on you. There's some time that has been set for everybody to get married in the family and all this kind of stuff. Your parents can go out there and pick a wife and then you marry the person by their choice, not yours. These days, all those things are not seen. They have their own way of doing things, and I think that's one of the things.
Has social media played a role in this? In terms of how marriage is portrayed, do you think social media or media in general has had any role to play in this shift?
Oh, yes. Yes, it has. It has. Social media and let's call pop culture has also influenced perceptions of marriage. The portrayal of relationships, celebrating marriages, and the visibility of different types of partnerships have contributed to a broader understanding of what relationship can look like. So sometimes they look at what people are doing, they look at how people are living, and they want to copy it, they want to pick some people as role models. It changes their priority. Somebody wants to buy some car or build a house or attain a position or, get a degree in education before thinking about marriage. So social media has played a very big role. If we are not seeing them, then it will not influence us. But there are a whole lot going on, and, we see the videos, we see the pictures, we see the publications, and it goes a long way to affect the young ones.
You are a counselor and a pastor as well, and so I'm sure that in church, some counseling sessions would go on for people who want to get married and all. What are some of the common things you're seeing these days that was not usually the case in the past?
Gender equality and roles. Some men are quite scared because they feel that when they get themselves into marriage, the woman may change, jump onto their necks, trying to push that agenda on them. So it has also reshaped the perception within marriage. The traditional gender roles are being questioned. Yes, and there is a greater expectation for equality in household relationships, in decision making, who should do what, who should provide what. So this has led people to rethink of what marriage means in this modern context. So it is making people think otherwise. Yes, the female feel, no, he's not supposed to act this way. He's not supposed to talk to me this way. I'm not supposed to serve him. I'm not supposed to go down for him. And the males are also feeling, I deserve this, I deserve that. And that whole banter is becoming an issue. And that's what we face every now and then. Those are the issues we face every now and then.
And in fact, it fits into my next question. I want to know, how do young people's expectation of marriage compare with the traditional views of marriage?
Okay, so the young people feel, even in a marriage, they are free to do whatever they want to do. They feel, although I'm married, I can still behave the way I was behaving when I was in my mother's house. I can still eat the way I was eating whilst I was in my father's house. The kind of friends I mingle with, I can still, go around with them. Unlike the traditional way where when you get married, you got to stop some things. There's a new partnership. There is a new home, and you have to play along with the rules of the home or live like married people. So you are told that you are married now, so you don't behave like any other person. Your name has changed, right? You don't have to speak like other people are speaking. You don't have to dress like other people are dressing. You know that thing. So the young ones really don't feel that is necessary. They still want their freedom in the marriage.
Are there notable differences in how young men and women view marriage today?
Yes. Both of them see it in a different way. And most of the times, the issue is about the women. The men are quite close to the traditional way.
Okay.
whilst the woman wants to handle it in a modern way.
Okay, they are challenging the traditional norms.
Exactly. The men want to handle things like Abraham and Co. They still want to be the bosses in the house. They want to be the sole decision makers. So that's how they still view stuff. They don't want to be controlled. And the women, in the other hand, want to also have a slice of the power. Yes, have a slice of the power. And they want at least meet me halfway. Don't take everything by yourself. Don't, take all the ranks. And that different view is what is causing the turbulence all the time. Yeah.
I guess because these days it's not a single individual that is responsible for the home. Both parties contribute something, and it's a reason most of the women also feel that, look, it's time we have a conversation about these traditional roles and how we can all meet each other halfway.
Yeah.
But is this shifting or changing views and perceptions on marriage? Is it threatening the institution?
It is. The divorce rate is going higher and higher, and it's not making it attractive for young ones anymore. They hear and see what is going on, and they are not getting role models to look up to anymore, because the people they are looking up to are divorced and are being abused in marriages, and so on and so forth. So that appetite is not there anymore, and it's becoming more dangerous. Now the social acceptance of diverse marriages too is coming into play a role. This whole LGBT stuff. So people are finding alternatives. So the traditional marriage and the marriage institution itself is losing a lot of grounds, and is not becoming so good.
We will hear more from Councillor Samuel Dakokran on the pros and cons of this shift in how the younger generation view marriage. But to get a broader perspective, I also reached out to a group of young people to hear their thoughts.
I think marriage itself is a generational thing. Our generation does not uphold the values of the previous ones. Okay. They think marriage is the ultimate goal. We personally just want to be financially stable, be able to afford the life we want, have peace of mind, and not compromise on things that our parents compromised on. Okay. So, personally, I feel like marriage is more of an uptight thing for the previous generation than for us.
Is it because, as some would say, the generation of today, they are afraid of commitment? So people want to be married and be single at the same time, and it's the reason they do not want to settle down. What do you think?
To be the devil's advocate, I would say it's not really a commitment thing for some people. It's a 50-50 thing. Some people, through their previous experiences and seeing how marriages through the generations they've witnessed have ended, or people are compromising in them, have influenced their views on marriage. Now, like I said, we wouldn't want to compromise on our peace of mind just to uphold the community perception of being in a happy home when maybe you are being abused either physically or mentally. To us, it's just not worth it. So we don't really have a hard time being committed, but is the person worth the commitments that you want to sacrifice yours for? Is more the question.
Irene talked about how the generation of today, the objective is not really so much marriage as the ultimate goal. Is that a thought you share?
Yes, I share the same sentiments. Okay. I think we've moved past the stage where marriage was sort of what glorifies a lady in society. Now it's not that like that anymore. Yeah, things have changed, and we are looking for more success for ourselves than for companionship. That's more like secondary now. Yes, per my view.
As to timelines when it comes to marriage, well, honestly, especially from personal experience, they don't work. Marriage is I mean, it's a good thing. It's best when you just let it happen at a time that it's supposed to happen. So I don't think it's appropriate that you give yourself timelines. I mean, it's not bad to give yourself a timeline. Just like, oh, I want to go to school. I want to complete school at this time. I want to get married. It's not bad, but I don't think you should hold on to it so tightly that if you decided to get married this year and you're not getting married this year, you should consider yourself a failure or something like that. You can plan for the future, but don't hold on too tightly to it just because it doesn't happen.
Well, from the views shared, they are not different from the reasons adduced by the counsellor. We will go for a break. We will be right back after this.
You are listening to WADR's gender program 50/50. The program is live on 94.9 FM in Dakar, Senegal, Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County, Liberia, and around the world on WADR.org.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to 50/50 on WADR with me, Nadidi Tete. We are also live on Radio Gbaf FM 91.3 in Sierra Leone. Let's now hear from Councillor Samuel Dakokran on the pros and cons of this shift in how the younger generation views marriage.
I think that it has more disadvantages than advantages.
What are the few advantages that come with this approach they have adopted, which is more of marriage not being the ultimate? I need to focus on me and my development, and then marriage can come in afterwards.
Because they don't prioritize marriage so much, and they don't put it at the top of their priority list, and they are focusing on building a career path and achieving some other things. It makes them more stable financially, mentally. It makes them quite stable before they enter marriage. Unlike the olden days where it's like you don't have a choice. And at a certain age, whether you like it or not, you have to get married. You are not so prepared. You don't know what is entailed in the future, and you get yourself into it. These folks have the time to really think of what they are getting themselves into and how they are going to prepare themselves financially or career-wise. Probably somebody who has set a goal, wants to build a house or get a stable job before they get married, and it works for them. So
this is the advantage, a major advantage that comes with this. What is the disadvantage of this position adopted by the younger generation?
This very position, one of the main disadvantages is it delays procreation.
What if procreation is never the focus for them?
I don't, but for me, I feel that even if we are becoming religious about it, procreation should be one of the major factors why you are getting married. If not, then I can say that there's no need. Because any other thing that you want outside the marriage, you can get. Even if you decide not to procreate early, that is where it becomes a disadvantage because you are growing older and your offsprings are coming at your old age and it's going to be very difficult for you to take care of them.
So as in you will not be able to make time for them?
Make time financially, psychologically. Life itself, at a certain point, you are not able to do so much. Assuming you are 50 years and your child is like 5 years or 10 years, and you are going on retirement at age 60. And by age 60, all other things are going against you. Your health is deteriorating. Financially, you may not be so doing well. So it becomes quite difficult for you to take care of somebody who is at a secondary school or the university. So it doesn't look good when you are faced with that.
But what if those years of focusing on themselves and developing themselves, they've been able to build up their financial capabilities in order for them to cater for the children when they come in at a later age?
Well, it's a choice though. It's a choice. I will not dispute that some other people feel that will be also good for them. It's an individual choice, but I don't feel you never know what is out for the future. So don't go for that. That would be my personal view or advice on that very matter.
In terms of approach, what do you think it should be? It should be a fair balance between combining your goals with having your other life or married life where you can also procreate or build your own family. It's about finding a balance. Is that it?
Yes, it's about finding a balance. we all don't know what is up for the future. And sometimes when you become so scared of what is ahead of you, it's also going to affect your thinking or your planning. You can never be too careful, if I may say. Yes. So we always have to find a balance between these two situations.
Thank you for joining us on this insightful journey. We hope that this discussion has shed light on the evolving views surrounding marriage and helped us all understand the complexities young people face as they navigate this timeless institution in a modern world. It's been great having you join me on this episode. Remember to follow our discussions on X and Instagram at WADR News, on Facebook at West Africa Democracy Radio English Service, and online at wadr.org. Also, leave me a message via our WhatsApp number +221 7818 45421. Again, the number is +221 7818 45421. I am Nadidi Teti. Join me next week for another insightful conversation on 50/50.